Hello and welcome to Yoga 413. I'm Tauni and I'm going to be leading you today in a Vinyasa flow class that is going to be perfect for someone just starting out on their yoga journey or anyone just seeking a basic yoga class. You're not going to have to worry about anything crazy like headstands in this one. So when you're ready, we're going to move onto our backs with knees bent. So as we begin our class, we always begin with breath. Inhaling and exhaling through your nose, some of your longest, deepest breaths of the day. With every exhale, we try to let go of any distractions, both around us or within us. And we oftentimes in yoga practice what's called a ujjayi breath. And if this breath is new to you, I invite you to take a nice big inhale through your nose and then exhale through the mouth like you're trying to fog up a mirror. Try that again. Just a nice big inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Fog up that mirror. Now continue that. But as you exhale, keep the mouth closed. So you'll gently begin to hear and feel the breath. It simply just connects the mind and the body as we begin to move, bringing those knees right over the heels. On that next inhale, I invite you to just press the hips up for a gentle bridge. And as you exhale, the hips come down. At your own pace, inhaling, pressing up into your bridge, and exhale, come down. So if you're new, I don't want you to get too wrapped up or stressed out about moving with the breath. It simply is just a practice. Good. So as you begin to move and flow, this next time as you press the hips up, or take your arms up over the head, and then exhale, come down. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lifting, arms over the head, and exhale down. So beginning also to warm up here through the shoulder joint. It's great for range of motion. Good. Let's hug the knees into the chest and gently circle those ankles in one direction and then the other. So now we're going to come up onto all fours so you can rock up or help yourself up through one side, coming into a tabletop position on your hands and knees. Let's flow through cow and cat. So as you inhale, I want you to open the chest, look forward, lift the tailbone, and as you exhale, round the spine, draw the chin towards the chest. Again, inhaling, open and up, and exhale, round. Just moving at your own pace. Being mindful of how the body feels as you flow and breathe. Now I want you to find a flat back and neutral spine and extend your right arm forward and your left leg is going to extend back. Now flex your foot and point the toes down towards the mat and your eyes are slightly forward. Let's release and switch sides, extending left arm, right leg. Coming down. Now we're going to take our knees wide, your feet are touching. Come back into an extended child's pose. So you're reaching your arms forward as your hips drop back to your heels. Now begin to walk your hands over to the right and gently just guide your hips a little bit more over to the left and stretch that left side body. Walking the hands back through center and over to the other side. Gently shifting the hips, lengthening those arms. Trying to maintain that nice steady breath. Walking the hands back to center. Begin to slightly spread the fingers and press into the entire hand, not just the palms, but also the fingers. Begin to rise back up. Draw those knees in. We're going to tuck our toes underneath us and press the hips up for our first downward facing dog. And begin to alternate pedaling out your heels, alternate bending those knees. So in down dog, let's find our foundation first in our hands. Fingers are spread and weight is into the fingers, especially the thumb and the index finger. So oftentimes when people are starting out, they'll start to roll to the outsides of the hand. Now let's find stillness. Your feet are hip distance apart. Your arms are strong. Those biceps are spiraling forward and the triceps back. And if you're feeling really tight, it's always okay to slightly bend those knees, but you just keep relaxing those heels down. Begin to look forward and walk your feet to the top of the mat. Take as many steps there as you need to. Now lengthen your spine and bring your hands to your shins, and I want you to gaze forward. Now just hinge forward and come into your first fold. Again, soften those knees here as much as you need to. And now we're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. It's the only time I'm going to have you roll up. Once you're up, shoulders slide down the back and palms are forward. Eyes are forward. This is mountain pose, or called Tadasana in Sanskrit. So legs are firm, lift those kneecaps. On your next inhale, reach your arms up over your head, gazing upward. Exhale, hinge forward from your hips into forward fold. Good. Inhale, lengthen the spine and gaze forward, hands to shins, and fold. On your next inhale, rise up to stand with a flat back, so press through the feet. Bring your hands to your heart center. Let's do that simple flow again. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hinge forward and fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine, gaze forward. Exhale and fold. As you inhale, rise up to stand. Bringing the hands to the heart. Let's move on. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge forward and fold. Lengthen the spine, half lift. And fold. Step that right foot back, and then the left. Drop your knees into a supported plank. So it's really important that you have your shoulders over your wrist. Then begin to lower down with the elbows coming towards your rib cage. Tops of the feet on the floor. Lift the chest for cobra. And then release down. Keeping your knees on the mat. Press up. Tuck those toes, downward facing dog. Beautiful job. So that is the sun salutation series. And that's just a supported version. And we're going to try that one more time. So look forward and step to the top of your mat. Lengthen your spine. And then hinge forward and fold. Inhale, rise up to stand. Bringing the hands to the heart center. Let's try that one more time. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, hinge forward. Pull those belly muscles in. Lengthen the spine, shoulders down away from your ears, and fold. This time, step the left foot back, then the right. Shoulders over wrists, drop the knees. Shift forward and lower all the way down. Draw the heart up and forward for cobra. Keep those knees down. Begin to press up and back for downward facing dog. Let's look forward and step to the top of your mat. Lengthen your spine and fold. Inhale, rise up. Bringing the hands to the heart center. So let's drop our hips and reach your arms up for chair pose, or this is called Utkatasana in Sanskrit. So that sun salutation is designed to build some heat in the body. Hopefully you start to feel a little looser. I know it definitely helps me. And then just stand it up, hands to heart. So we're going to keep the right foot toes straight forward. Step the left back, moving into Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. Gazing forward over that front hand. Take a moment to make sure shoulders are over hips, knee over ankle, and you should be able to see your big toe on the inside of that knee. Reach your arms up as you straighten the leg. Turn those right toes in. The left toes back. You're going to face the back of your mat and rebend that left knee for Warrior Two on the other side. Straighten up. This time turn both toes forwards in line with the heel. I want you to hinge forward into what we call airplane pose. And it's great for strengthening your core, so legs are engaged as well. Nice flat back. Inhale, rise back up. Turn the right toes forward. We're going to keep the legs straight this time and move into triangle pose. So begin to reach forward. Think about lengthening through both waists. And just place your hand wherever it lands. Left arm extends up and turning your gaze up. This is a great place for a block. And I always tell my classes in person that there's nothing magical about touching the floor. When people start to do that, they lose their alignment. So just think about lining up over that forward leg. Come on up. And let's do the same thing to the back. So left toes forward. Begin to lengthen and come down. Wherever that hand lands is fine. Gaze up if it's comfortable for your neck. Go ahead and come on up. Toes turn forward. So we're going to go into that airplane pose. Hinge forward. Hold here, and this time come into your standing straddle. So we're going to reach our hands towards the outsides of the feet. Let the top of the head drop towards the mat. Feeling a nice stretch all through the back of the legs. Now start to take your eyes forward and your hands underneath you for support. Lift back up into that airplane pose, and then stand all the way up. Let's do one more standing posture. Bend that forward knee, so very much like Warrior Two, but we're going to go into angle this time. So again, we lengthen through the waist, bend that elbow, take that arm up. You can continue reaching up or extend that arm up over the head, adding that extension. Start to come up, switch to the back of the mat, left toes out, bend that left knee, lengthen, come into your angle pose, that side angle, and maybe add that extension. Start to rise up, toes forward. Last time here. So come into that airplane. Now drop into the straddle. Relax your head and neck. So we're going to add on just a little piece here. I want you to take your hands underneath you, lengthen the spine. And without shifting your hips, see if you can take your right hand up to your right hip. And if that's okay, then maybe turn your gaze up for a standing twist. Again, you're trying to keep your hips square. Oftentimes they'll shift. Try to keep them from moving. Bring that hand down, and let's try that on the other side. Lifting up to the waist first, and then maybe all the way up. Bringing the hand down, use your core strength, and come up into your airplane, and then all the way up to stand. Great job. Let's bring the feet together. Now we're going to work on some balance. So we're going to step to the top of your mat, balancing on the right foot first. Extend and just tap that left foot behind you. We're going to do Warrior 3 or Virabhadrasana 3. So I want you to start to lean forward and lift that back leg up. And then if you wish, extend your arms to your sides. So remember when we were in the warm-up, we did that bird dog pose and had you point your toes down and press through that heel. Do that on this pose as well. One more breath. And then slowly come up. How'd you do? Don't get frustrated on balance, just take your time. So balancing on that left foot, right foot back. And I'm having you keep your hands on your hips here in the beginning. Start to move into the pose so you can feel if that hip starts to open up, because we want to keep them as level as we can. So we're dropping that outer part of that hip, and then take your arms wherever you need it. Point those toes down. Warrior 3, one more breath. And then slowly start to come up. Shake that out. Great job. So again, we're going to bring our feet back hip distance apart. Drop your hips, sink into chair pose. Just one more breath, a little bit more heat in these legs before we take it to the floor. And then exhale, fold forward. Half lift and lengthen, hands to shins. And fold. Stepping your feet back, dropping your knees. Lower all the way to the mat. Peel that chest up for cobra. This time take it back to child's pose. Extend those arms. Take a few breaths here in our child's pose. Come back forward, and you're going to lower all the way down to the mat. So we're going to strengthen our back here with locust pose, arms to your sides. When you're ready, start to lift the chest and lift the back of the legs up, keeping the legs as straight as you can. Shoulder blades drawing together. Steady breath. And release. You can just take an ear to the mat. Rest. We're going to do that one more time. So coming back, eyes forward, inhale, lift up, and lengthen. Careful not to hold your breath as you hold poses. And come down, take that opposite ear to the mat. Hands come to the chest, eyes forward. Come into cobra pose. And then keeping those knees down, press back, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Just find that stretch all through the back side of the body. Your heels never, ever have to touch. Begin to look forward and step, and then you're just going to have a seat on your mat. We're going to do boat pose today. Great for those belly muscles. I want you to find your sits bones. You're going to lean back just enough to engage the core. Your shoulders are back. Let's start with just our tippy toes on the floor and our arms extended. So oftentimes I'll see that, so you just want to be sure and lift your chest. And then maybe take one foot or the other off the floor and balance. So just know as you're starting out, this is totally fine. One more breath. Let's take the feet to the mat. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, but fingers are forward. Press into an inclined tabletop. So pressing the hips up. Great stretch here for the shoulders and chest. Strengthens the glutes, the hamstrings, the back. Let's come down. Now we're going to work our way all the way down to the mat. Once you're down, hug your knees into your chest. Little massage here for your back, side to side. Now what we're going to do is take the feet to the mat, cross your right ankle above that left knee, be sure and flex that right foot, and then reach through, grab onto the thigh, back of the thigh, or some of you might be even able to go up to your shin. Just want you to feel a nice stretch in that right hip. Shoulders relax down. Let's come out of the stretch and switch sides, flexing the left foot above the right knee. Reach through. Releasing. Extend the right leg up. And you're just gonna, again, just hold behind the thigh. That's fine. There's nothing crazy about going all the way up here. I just want you to feel a stretch through that hamstring. So wherever you can comfortably grab and keep the leg straight and that right hip down on the mat. Just want you to feel that lengthening through the back of the leg. Release and switch sides. Left leg extends. Again, just find that place where you can feel that stretch. In yoga, you never want to force your way anywhere or into any position that your body just completely rejects. Just move slowly, breathe. And what I like to say is just find your edge, find where you can feel it, but you can stay there for a few breaths. Let's extend that left leg all the way out to the mat. We're going to pull the right knee into the chest and use your upper body to pull that knee down. And now we're going to move into our spine twist, taking it across the body, shoulders connected to the mat, and you can turn your gaze down that right arm. Coming onto your back, extend the right leg. Left knee comes in, gentle pull. And now moving into your spine twist, dropping that leg across, turning your gaze down that left arm. rolling onto your back. Let's hug the knees into the chest one more time. Place your feet on the mat and together and drop your knees wide for a reclining butterfly. Your arms, your hands can just rest here on your midsection. Begin to close your eyes. Notice the rise and fall of the belly with every breath. Moving into our final pose, and I always say our most important one of Shavasana, extending the legs out just a little bit wider than your hips, arms to your sides with palms up, eyes closed. Allow the feet to just naturally drop away from each other. Softening up through the legs, through the back, the belly, chest and shoulders, face. And if you have any more tension left anywhere, just let it go now through the fingertips. I'll be back with you in just a moment. Begin to deepen your breath and wiggle the fingers, the toes, and then maybe the wrists and ankles. Gently bend your knees and roll to your right side into that fetal position where we pause. This is the perfect time to acknowledge gratitude for whatever it is you're thankful for today, or whoever it is you're thankful for today, just in the quiet of your hearts. And help yourself up to have a seat on your mat. You did amazing. I truly appreciate you joining me for class today. Let's reach your arms up, one big breath, bringing the hands to the heart center. And from my heart to yours, namaste. Y'all have a blessed day, and thank you again for joining me for class.